Hey Amar,
Hello.
welcome back to Rogan's podcast. How are things?
All good, all good. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. I was actually thinking about UK earlier because the weather here is pretty much what we get over there. It's wet, it's gloomy, it's windy.
Yeah,
We don't
surprise,
have the
surprise. Here it
typical
was,
December weather yet over in the US, but it's that sort of weather where you don't really want to do a lot. You just want to stay indoors.
yeah. I mean, here it was crazy. It was some storm that hit the west shores and
Yeah,
uh traveled towards the east as well.
no
So it
way.
was really, really bad wind over the
Hmm.
weekend. And it
Yeah,
was rainy. It's
you couldn't
almost
wish
like
better.
British summer in the winters, yeah.
Yes. Fair enough.
But it's all
Yeah,
okay. It's all
we have
okay.
some rain as well over here. Tomorrow it's going to be raining 100%, and then next couple of days the temperatures seem to drop. So yeah, not looking forward to it, but it's what it is.
Yeah.
Talking
Winters.
about gloomy, obviously, a lot going on in the World Gavaskar Trophy second
Oof,
test.
a lot.
I know we sort of connected on day one, and we sort of thought how things should progress going forward, but unfortunately, I think Australia kind of did a favor for all the Indian fans. They didn't want us to stay up all night or wake up early to catch up on the cricket. So they kind of wrapped up things on day three. But really kind of reflect on what happened on the second test. So maybe we'll start with day two, the first
Yeah.
couple of hours with India's bowling. I know we kind of discussed and we said early wickets are crucial, and Bumrah did manage to get one probably in the first hour, but post that I think it's sort of one-way traffic. But yeah, your views on how did day two unfold?
Yeah, it was as we were expecting. We were hoping for more wickets, but that didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
As Bumrah started well again. He bowled throughout the day. He bowled well, in fact. But again, we didn't get much support from the other bowlers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Shiraz did well, but then we were expecting Rana to come to the party, which he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and we were hoping Ashwin would get more, a few wickets. But again, all credit to Australia. The way they
Mm-hmm.
batted, it was superb. Travis Head, as we were expecting, if he gets in on time and he gets enough time, then no boundary or no score is a big score. He can give when batting first, he can give big totals to the oppositions,
Mm-hmm.
and no one knows that better than India. He has done it once
Time
again
and again,
against
right?
India.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. For some reason, he's India's nemesis. But um, yeah, it was good show.
Mm-hmm.
Very well batted. Australia looked like Australia
Yeah.
again. In the first test, of course, we won. India won. So and there was some good cricket played by India in there. But this one again, Australia was back. There was a pink test,
Mm-hmm.
like we talked about it in the last podcast, that Australia playing like pink ball test should be played, and that's what we saw really.
Yeah.
Batted magnificently. Um, and again, like on the previous day, we were talking about Indian bowling.
Mm-hmm.
They were a bit short, bit wide. Here they did correct on the line and length, but then again, we didn't find that magic really.
Yeah.
So India were always chasing this, and in the end, they couldn't do it.
No, absolutely. I think the partnership between Head and Labuschagne kind of took the game away from India. In a good couple of sessions, with Head scoring over 140 and then Labuschagne also contributing with like a 70. That pretty much put them on uh, on the path to kind of get a huge lead, which uh, eventually I think Siraj did bounce back and obviously managed to get some late wickets, but by then I think most of the damage is already done. The only piece, like you pointed out, maybe Ashwin didn't really come to the party. Unfortunately, he had that one big chance where Travis Head was dropped on 70 by Siraj, which by then India had a reasonably small lead. But then, post that, it's just a one way stream from ahead, and
Yeah,
obviously he took the game away
exactly.
from us. Yeah.
Yeah. I
And
mean, when Travis had got out, by then the damage was done anyways. But then
yeah,
it was, it was a sigh of relief rather than hope. There was no hope really.
yeah,
By then there was no hope, but it was just a sigh of relief that
mhm,
Indian bowlers being thrashed, and that put a stop to it.
mhm.
But yeah, like I said, it was more like a relief than a hope.
Yeah, no, absolutely right. And then, kind of looking at the second innings batting, right? So again, something we discussed on the podcast previously, post day one, we thought, given like, now India kind of figured the conditions a little bit in terms of how they have to face ping ball, we were hoping there would be a better innings than the first one and probably try and score, little bit more than what they did in the first innings, but unfortunately, they came short again. We were like in a bundle for like 175. Really no like big scores in there. I'm kind of looking at the scorecard right now. Nitish Kumar Reddy, who bats at number 8, actually I got 42, which is the highest score for India. Following that, we have Gill with 28. Rishabh Pant again contributed for another 28, and Jaiswal with 24. Yeah, I think not the ideal start. Again, I don't know if it's to do with the day and night test and India not being able to like manage the ping ball, or is it just sheer pressure of like because you're already in the back foot. There's a massive lead ahead. You have to get over the lead and then probably set up a total. So as Indian batters could have
Yeah.
they done anything different in terms of their approach?
No, it was a combination of things.
Mhm.
First being that we don't play enough pink ball tests,
Yeah,
really. I mean, the last pink ball test India played was 3 or 4 years ago,
that's correct. Yeah.
and all of a sudden they play now. Of course, there were a few days before
Mhm.
this test to prepare, but that's not good enough.
Yeah.
You're just saying that you can play a pink ball test by just playing three days of preparation. That's not going to work.
Mhm.
Um, by far, there's a big gap between India's preparation or pink ball experience and Australia's pink ball experience. There's a big gap between them. And
Yeah.
then you have bowlers like Mitchell Stark and Cummins who are brilliant um,
Mhm.
fast bowlers really. They can pitch they can pitch the ball short. They can bounce the batsman. They
Mhm.
are very good with swinging. They're very good in swinging the ball. So all in all, you have those skills in that team and
Mhm.
also the experience.
Yeah.
Um, and also, we can talk a little bit about are India under pressure to
Mhm.
make it to the WTC final? Are they feeling that heat? You
Mhm.
can talk about that as well. Of course, in the first test, they won. They managed to win. But then, Australia. We always knew that Australia will bounce back.
That's right.
Yeah, and pink ball was a perfect chance for them, and that they did it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point you made, right? Obviously we didn't have enough preparation. You had a week break, one, that gave Australia enough time to kind of, sit back, like, process things in terms of what happened in the first test and gave them an opportunity to reflect and, where they've gone wrong. But also from an Indian perspective, we obviously were counting on the two day, like, President's 11, Prime Minister's 11 game, but unfortunately day one got washed out, so they didn't really have much of like a practice with the ping ball. It was more like a 1 day 50 over game. So obviously that doesn't help our cause. But yeah, kind of reflecting on the batting, right? Really quickly. Again, a lot of focus on KL Rahul, right? He's done extremely well in the first test, and like you pointed out, you don't want the combination to be switched in middle of the series. So would you still kind of stick to that comment, like going forward? Do you still want Rahul to continue up the order in place of Rohit, or
No, I will still continue with Rahul. I
Mhm.
mean, before the series started, just before the first test, we had this discussion,
Yeah.
and what I was saying was we know that Rohit is not here,
Mhm.
and we had a couple of new players
Mhm.
who were supposed to play the first test, and we were talking about where would Ishwaran play.
Yes. Yeah.
And at that time I did say that you play Ishwaran where you want Rohit Sharma to play when he
Yeah.
comes back.
Yes.
because you don't want Rahul, you don't want to move other batsmen. You don't want to move Rahul down the order if you want him to open, or you don't want him to move up the order if Rahul was batting down.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the call, and management would have known this, that
Yes.
when Rohit Sharma comes back, he will be in the team no matter what.
Yeah.
So they should have
Thought
played,
through this maybe. Yeah.
yeah, they should have played the new batter where Rohit Sharma would slot in,
Mm-hmm.
because KL Rahul was always going to play. He was not
Yeah.
going to be left out.
Mm-hmm.
So now they have started with him with a top order, the opening slot. So they might as well continue with that.
Yeah.
And Rohit Sharma is an experienced batter. I wouldn't, for a minute, I wouldn't think that he won't be able to bat in middle order. It's just a
Yeah.
matter of, maybe it was the first game. He would have, gone back, thought about it, spent some time on the pitch, and then he would. I would say he would score, but I wouldn't change KL Rahul's position at this point.
Sure. Good word
Um,
on Kohli and Rohit in terms of their batting, how they should approach going forward.
yeah, I mean, with Kohli, you can always, in Australia, you always think that he's the guy who will score loads of runs,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what he's done in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen that in the first test that he scored runs.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and here, uh, maybe we can give that to Pink Ball. I'm not sure, but
Yeah.
he's experienced enough to fight against or overcome whatever is happening to him. I mean, no
Yeah.
one else can, advise him,
Mm-hmm.
because no one else is that capable. No one else has that amount of skills. So if
Yeah.
anyone who can advise him what to do is himself, really. He can
Absolutely.
go away and think about it, and I'm sure he's doing that, and
Yeah.
he will come back. So I wouldn't say there's much to, you know, think about or ponder on what he has to do and what he should do.
Right.
I think he well knows, and he just wants, more than anyone else, he would want to do it. So I think he will do it. In terms of Rohit Sharma, he just needs to find his, um I don't know, his magic.
Mm-hmm.
He has done very recently. He has done really well in matches previous to this series.
Yeah.
He just needs to find that magic again, settle down, and
Yeah.
then just start scoring.
Yeah.
Maybe a shift in the way he had thought about the previous series games. Maybe this one is a little different,
Mm-hmm.
uh, change in the environment. So maybe he just needs to focus a bit, really. Maybe change in position as well. So he's thinking differently. But again, he has one game now
Mm-hmm.
already played, so he will be more settled now in the next game. So I think we can expect batting from. These are all experienced players, so nothing. We can't talk about the nerves or anything or any other sort of
Absolutely.
distraction. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
it's just a frame of mind, and
Yeah.
they
Frame of
know more
mind
than
only.
anyone else. In terms of the other uh, batsman in the team.
Mm.
When the team was traveling, I thought this series would be Jaiswal's series,
Yeah.
but top the order always, the best chance to perform
Mm-hmm.
is top the order. You make loads of runs, and whenever you make, the best thing about the top order is whenever you make runs, it helps the team immensely.
Yeah.
That means that other batters are in a more relaxed situation whenever they go out to bat, because
Yeah.
you have a score on the board, and
Mm-hmm.
more often than not you kind of get to, close to winning the matches.
Yeah.
um, but it turns out that Nitish Reddy is the
Mm-hmm.
guy who is he's turning this series to his name, really,
Yeah.
because he's been performing in all the innings, and he's been very consistent, and also he's been recognized by players, seniors, experts throughout the world, that this is the guy who can stay in the team for long, and he can do really everything.
Yeah.
So, and there's a bit of flexibility, that he can move up the order, or he can bat, or maybe in the number six, depending on who else is playing. But he's very capable, and he's
Mm-hmm.
very versatile. So he's kind of making this series his series.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great point you made, right? He's been like probably uh the shining light for India so far in the series, and absolutely someone like the team can rely on down the order. He can actually really whack it and score some quick runs as well. So yeah, absolutely. I'm kind of rooting for him as well, especially now that we know he comes from Vizag, my hometown. So good luck to him. Hopefully, he continues to deliver.
Always, always, always. And this is doing is this is allowing Ashwin to be in the team as well. Like everyone is talking about
Mhm.
that scenario as well.
Yeah,
Because we, coming onto this series, we were wanting someone to be Shardul Thakur, but we are getting an even better bargain now with him.
absolutely.
He looks like a better batsman.
Mhm.
He bowls well as well. So, he's a good find,
Mhm.
and it looks like he can be in the team for a long, long time. Still early days, but
Yeah.
that's what it looks like.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. Yeah, knock on wood, he kind of maintains his fitness. I think everything else just happens naturally for him. So yeah, kind of looking forward to some big things for Nitish Reddy there. Uh, Quickly, kind of focusing on the Australian bowlers. Obviously, we've seen what Pat Cummins is capable of. He managed to pick a fiver, and one of the things I've noticed is he kind of like you pointed out at the top of the call, right? A lot of short pitch. He kind of had a plan in place. Trying to attack like round the wicket and then sort of like bounce people off. So do you think now Australians are starting to think like back to like basics. Let's because something I've seen with Cummins in the past as well. He's someone who always kind of be the enforcer in the team where he always kind of goes back to like that short pitch bouncy sort of attack, and I think that's where he found some of his recent success.
Yeah, and also, I mean, from the first test, if we look at,
Mhm.
he was a little bit of maybe we can say that maybe was the first match of the series, and
Yeah.
he wanted to do well as a captain as well. So, but in this match, he has found that mojo back, and of course, he picked up a five-four. But yeah, I mean, again, he's a very experienced bowler. He knows which batsman can be troubled by which balls, and of course, he's very good with short balls as well. So, and a great experience, and leading from the front as well. So, uh, I think from here we are not seeing. We are not going to see Cummins of the first test. We are going to see improvement in every match. So what you can see is Mitchell Stark plus Cummins is going to be a trouble for Indian
Yeah.
batsmen.
And obviously, don't forget Scott Ball, and he chipped in well, like a couple of wickets in the first innings, and then another 3-4 in the second innings. He sort of like filled in the beats for Hazelwood, pretty much like from the word go.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And but that was he's one that kind of a bowler who he can produce wickets from nowhere.
Mhm.
That's what he brings to the table. But I would have liked to see him more. But I'm hearing that maybe Hazelwood uh, is fit now. We will be interesting to see what happens in this coming test.
No, absolutely, yeah. Obviously, now the third test is not far away, right? Unlike the previous one, we don't have a massive break this time around. It's actually starting this Friday. So maybe wind up quickly, like looking at like the upcoming test is going to be played in Brisbane, starting on Friday the 13th. What would be your playing 11 for? Let's start with India first. Would you do any changes, especially like and thinking about like Harshit Rana spot in the team? He hasn't. Again, early days for him. Obviously, just the second test shows his conditions. But yeah. Any thoughts on like your playing 11?
Um, I wouldn't. I mean, this. Uh, I wouldn't be looking to change the team at this
Mm-hmm.
point. Of course, he didn't get any wickets, but he has got experience of two tests now here.
Mm-hmm.
He's a young lad. Give him another chance. I think he will be doing well. Of course, Akash is there, but I would keep him in the team, and I don't see any other changes either. Maybe, some might think maybe Washington Sundar can come in place of Ashwin. But
Mhm.
then again, once you play a player and he hasn't done much wrong, uh, then I would say I would count that as an experience for the next game,
Sure.
for that particular series. Until unless, that player has done really, really,
Four.
something wrong, or the pitch that, demands that the other player should play, then you can make those changes. But I don't see this pitch, Brisbane pitch, any different. They will still be preparing, fast pitch,
Mhm.
maybe a hint of grass, um, and later on there might be a little bit help for the spinner as well. So Ashwin can do that job really, really well. And you have Nitish Reddy in the team to take care of the batting load on the order, so that gives that flexibility as well. But saying that, I mean, Ashwin is also good with bat, so I wouldn't look to change any the team. I mean, there will be an argument about, whether uh, KL will come down and Rohit will open the innings. We'll
Mhm.
see that. But if it was on me, I wouldn't do that either.
You won't change the thing. You
No,
stick to
no,
the
no.
same playing 11 and then like kind of follow the same order.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. And what do you
Yeah.
think?
I mean, personally, for me, again, like I said, fair play to Rana, early days, like, it's all new, good kind, new playing conditions for him. But I think, him not being able to, like, pick the sort of wickets we kind of anticipate from him, that's put in some extra pressure on someone like, Siraj and Bumrah to constantly deliver. So maybe kind of, leaning towards Akash. I was actually hoping for him to play in the second test because of the swing that we get from the pink ball. Well, unfortunately, they kind of stick to Rana, but fair play. Brisbane might probably give him the little bit of boost, and like he might just come out on top. But also another thing I'm thinking, given you now have like someone like Nitish Reddy, who's high on confidence, he can probably potentially be a third bowler. Can we maybe kind of look at exploring someone like Jadu in the playing 11, have him like
Hmm.
bat at 8, 9, wherever he can slot in, and then obviously bring him in for like some left arm spin. Again, conditions like depending on the weather, if it gets like some cracks and stuff into day 3, day 4, depending on if India will bat first, that might be a potential. But in the current squad, I think the only change I would recommend is maybe look at like someone like Akash in place of Rana, but the rest can continue.
Yeah.
And personally, I would like, Rohit to be back top of the order where he belongs. He's had a lot of success top of the order, and it allows someone like Jaiswal to like have a free flow as well. Not that he doesn't do that with KL, but with someone like Rohit, he's skipper on the other end. It gives you that little bit extra motivation to try and like do well. And we might also help someone like Rohit to kind of continue playing this aggressive style, like go for it, and see where it ends up. But yeah, that might be my two changes, like in terms of the playing 11 versus at the top of the order.
Yeah, I mean, one of the arguments to for that is also that India haven't, they haven't scored the first a massive first innings
Yes,
score. So it's very important for to put runs on the board
mm,
and in the first innings, which India hasn't done
mm,
lately. So maybe there's an argument of why not change the opening pair and see what happens.
sure.
Yeah, well, I mean, one argument is that. But
Mm,
also, I was going to say that this could have been interesting for the bowlers. If if we had seen um, uh, what's his name? Sorry,
Is
I
it
just forgot.
Akashi,
No, 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 no.
Rana,
No, no. Maybe he can fly in from India.
or Shami?
Uh,
Yes.
Xiaomi, yeah, yeah, sorry. Oh,
Nah.
totally blank out. So yeah, it would have been very interesting if he had reached Australia. I'm not sure. I mean, I've been hearing that and reading that his kit has been flown in, but
Right.
I don't
Okay.
know
That's
where
news to
he
me.
is.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know where he is. So,
Yeah.
and very strange news doing rounds in the internet also between him and there's a rift between him and Rohit Sharma. I don't know what's happening there. I don't know if
All
it
right.
if there is any truth to truth to that as well. But
Hmm.
yeah, if Shami comes in, if he was in Australia, then maybe there was a case of him coming in instead of Rana, because that would be a massive thing. But
Boost for
of
India.
course,
Yeah.
it won't happen in this match. Even if he's in Australia, it's not going to happen in this game. Maybe the
Mhm.
next game, if he can make it, or if he's picked, if he's picked.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I was just actually reading about him the other day, where he's done exceptionally well for Bengal and the local Smart Trophy, where he apparently delivered with the bat as well for a change. He scored some quick fire 30s,
All
and
right.
he picked up a couple of wickets. So yeah, a lot of talk about him, like back to his usual. So hopefully he'll be on the flight sooner than later, at least for the last two tests of the series. But yeah, let's see
Hmm.
I don't know how things progress. Quick word on the Australia playing 11. Would you change anything from the Adelaide test, given
Not really.
higher confidence?
Not really. No, not really. I mean, now they have found that winning, I would say,
Combination.
momentum. So
Yeah.
this is the momentum they wanted.
Mhm.
Of course, they didn't get it in the first match, but this is where they want to be. This is how they play their cricket. They want they are no strangers to winning ways. Once they get started, they don't stop. So I wouldn't see them changing their playing 11 at all.
Perfect. Yeah, no, absolutely. Obviously, not long now, three more sleeps, and then into the third test. Really quickly, something we kind of spoke, before the series started, right? Your
Yeah,
prediction on India winning the series 3-2. Is still
yeah.
sticking to that, or is there a
No, I'm
change?
still sticking to that. That's I still believe that's going to happen. And if we talk about Brisbane, I think um, India is gonna India is still trying to find a combination of players who will win them the match. But
Yeah,
then we have seen that Gaba is a place where things can happen for India. So I'm rooting for India in this one. Of
they need
course,
to bounce back
Australia
in this
have
one.
yeah. I mean, Australia have bounced back in Adelaide, but I think India will find that magic again and win there.
No, no. I think I'm kind of looking forward to that as well. Good luck to both sides, and let's see how things progress. Maybe we can connect maybe post day one, post the third test, and go from there.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Will
Absolutely.
be
Thank
interesting.
you. It's nice catching up again, Amar.
All right.
You have a good
That
night.
was good, and see you. Bye
Yeah, see
bye.
you soon. Take care.